you go ahead and just start in a comfortable seat. And just let the shoulders drop down the back and allow the eyes to close gently. Taking a minute here, really rooting down, settling in, feeling the weight of the sits bones down through the hips and the outer edges of the feet. Feeling the weight of the elbows drop down in toward the ribs and the shoulders dropping down the back. And with a rooted feeling through the lower body and through the back body, allow the upper body and the front body to feel light and lifted. Imagine you could reach the crown right up toward the sky. And keep releasing weight through the hands down into the knees to feel rooted into the earth. Taking a moment on a breath in to feel the collarbones broaden and the shoulder blades very slightly draw toward one another. Hug the chin slightly toward the chest as if you're gently hugging a grapefruit. Feel the back of the neck lengthen a bit. And as the body now finds this neutral spot, allow yourself to focus on your breath, just your natural breath cycle. Noticing your inhale and noticing your exhale. Perhaps notice if the inhale gets stuck or short in any places. And the same with the exhale. And then begin to draw a deeper breath in, all the way from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And a more complete breath out from the crown of the head to the base of the spine. We did this practice on Tuesday as well, where from the base of the spine you begin a silent count from 1 upward until you reach the crown of the head. And whatever number you land on, you begin your exhale at 1 and try and allow the breath on the exhale to meet the same number. Maybe that's slowing the breath down or taking a more complete exhale. So if you reach a 4, 5, or 6 on the inhale, you try to match that with a 4, 5, or 6 on the exhale. It's simply called an equal length breath pranayama practice. And it's an anti-stress, anti-anxiety breath practice. It also allows us to clear the mind as we focus on the counting. Finding one more breath cycle just like this. And then slowly allow the head to drop heavy to the chest. Gentle stretch over the back of your neck here. Taking a moment with the head down to roll the shoulders up. And as you draw the blades down the back, also hug them toward one another a bit. Just reminding ourselves of that open chest. And slowly from there, with that open collarbone, let the right ear roll to the right shoulder. Pressing slightly into the left knee with the left hand. Feel that deepen the stretch through the neck. And draw the chin down through the chest, bringing left ear now left shoulder. Pressing slightly downward into the right knee with the hand. Dropping the chin to the chest, take a deep breath in, let the arms rise overhead. Interlace your fingers, draw the heels of the hands around the base of the skull, and wrap the elbows around the temples. Letting the body surrender through the neck, but keep the length in the upper back, lower back and the weight down through the hips. So the only thing that's changed posturally is that the head has dropped. Slowly relax the hands. Take the hands to the fronts of the knees and gently level the head up as the eyes open. We'll lift the chest open across the collarbones, breathe in, and then we'll round the spine as we breathe out, even tucking that chin. So we're starting to take this through from the neck all the way through the spine. Lift and rinse. Lift and rinse. Stay here in this rounded spine. Push the knees into the hands and you'll feel the upper back round a little bit more. You're going to take your left hand to your right hand across that right knee. And imagine you could push over to the left back corner of the mat through the back of the rib. Come through center. Walk the hands to your left side. Push back and over to your right side through the rib. And then gently come back through center, leveling shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips. Inhale, arms will rise up. Exhale, right hand behind, left hand across as we come into a twist. Now coming from upper spine all the way into low back. On an inhale, let the arms rise through center, and on an exhale, twist to your left side. Good. Inhale, rise through center. Now as you exhale, open arms to the floor. So you have the hands kind of to either side of the mat. Feeling this through the hips. If you have your left foot forward in the cross-legged position, you'll feel the left hip a bit more than the right and vice versa. Imagine you could send the center chest through the shoulders and just start to tilt that pelvis even deeper. Slowly, you're going to send the shoulders over the hips and then take the hands behind you as you change the way the legs are crossed. Inhale, let the arms rise up. And again, exhale, you kind of dive the hands forward till they reach the floor. Allow the hips to press back and the chest to lengthen over the shins. Always thinking about that little imaginary grapefruit between the chest and the chin so that the back of the neck stays neutral. And then slowly begin to walk back, shoulders over hips once again. We're going to take the legs behind, coming right up onto our knees here. And we'll step the right foot out to the side. Good. Let the right hand come down the right leg, left arm will reach up. Getting now from the back into the side rib. Every breath in, think about lifting the rib cage away from the hip crest, and every breath out, think about stretching even deeper. Good. Inhale, rise up. As you exhale, left fingertips will tent to the floor, maybe even a block, reaching the arm up overhead. You should feel a stretch from the outer ankle all the way up the waist. And as you breathe in next time, you're going to open the chest up a bit, feeling it come across the front of the belly now. As you exhale, tap the left thumb. So you're inhaling to open and exhaling to tap the thumb, feeling that come across the low back. Inhale last time. Exhale, tap into that thumb, and then walk the hands forward, keeping the right leg where it is, and sending your hips back a bit as you come down through the inner thigh in that stretch. Forearms can rest to the floor if that's comfortable. Slowly walk your hands back, coming to stand on that knee again. Right knee down, left leg out to the side. Sweeping the arms up, breathe in. Left fingertips, left leg, breathe out. Imagine again lifting up off of the hips and reaching deeper. Inhale, rising, and exhale, right fingertips to the earth, reaching, feeling that stretch. Imagine that you want the left fingertips to almost reach for the earth on the right side of the room. On an inhale, let the chest peel open. On an exhale, left hand taps to right hand. Inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, tap and twist. Last time, rise and reach. Go ahead, tap and twist. Slowly walk the hands around to center. Press the hips back, coming down through the inner thigh on the left side. As you come through neutral with the hips, allow the hands to come underneath your shoulders and the left knee to come underneath the left hip. We're in tabletop pose now, finding a cat-cow. Belly lengthens, spine rounds. One more time, belly lengthens, spine rounds. Stay rounded here. Push the hips back toward the heels, finding that stretch across the entire back now. Shift your hips slightly to the left. Take a full breath cycle. Shift your hips slightly to the right. Take a full breath cycle. And slowly draw back through center. We'll take the hands back, so we're standing on the knees once again. Hands come to hips. Let the right foot come forward. Taking the stretch from the neck, shoulders and back and waist now into the front of the hips as we drop forward and down. Now if the back becomes a problem here, just pull the navel into the spine just a bit. Continuing with side waist stretching, right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Imagine you want to reach for the floor beside your right hip. It may not happen today, but just imagine that's where the energy is drawing down. Keep the chest peeling open just a bit. And then slowly back to center. Let the hands reach in front of the heart. From there, take the length that you had in your waist and twist across your knee. Elbow comes to outer knee. If that is not comfortable, forearm or wrist. Here we're going to use the knee to the arm to create traction in our twist. Feeling that wring out the low back. And slowly come back through center. Let the hands plant to the floor inside the right leg. Curl your left toes under. Push through the heel as the knee lifts up off the floor. And a little bit of circling. So you're going to circle from right to left. And then drop that knee down. Turn the toes cornerwise and let the knee drop open on the right. So hip flexor stretch left, inner thigh stretch right. Slowly you're going to walk the hands back, sending that leg long and taking the hands to the hips. Lift your chest up and fold forward, feeling that hamstring now. And if it's too much to have the knee straight, just bend the knee and imagine you're peeling the heel back toward the room, toward the back of the room. You'll see this series a couple of times today as we prepare ourselves to get a little bit deeper into the legs. Slowly rise to neutral spine. Let the right knee come back and take the left foot forward. Dropping the hips forward and down. And then reaching left fingertips down, right fingertips up as we come into that side waist lengthening. Slowly back through center, let the hands meet at center chest. You'll take the twist, again hooking either wrist, forearm, or elbow, and use the traction of that connection to twist deeper. Slowly you'll unwind, allow the hands to come inside that foot. Curling your toes under on the right, push back through the heel, and you'll circle left to right. 3 times. Coming back to neutral, you'll let that knee drop down. Turn the toes cornerwise and let the knee on the left drop open. Continuing to peel the collarbones away from one another as you send the chest forward. And then walk the hands back, lengthen out through the leg, hands will come to hips. Send the chest forward over that straight front leg, softening the knee if necessary. And slowly we'll return to neutral spine, taking the knees back. We're going to curl the toes under and now work all the way to the bottoms of the feet. Sitting back into your heels, let the arms rise up and interlace your fingers overhead. Press the palms up and back. Now, if the shoulders reach to your earlobes, bend the elbows so they relax down. You'll still feel a stretch over the chest, but you'll keep the shoulders relaxed. You should feel toes, arches of feet, and the space where chest and shoulders meet. Slowly release the hands to the earth, coming again into tabletop pose. And take the right foot back, keeping toes connected to earth. You're going to press back through your heel actively as if you wish to stand on the floor with that heel. Coming down the back of the calf. Keep your left toes tucked and simply lift the knee up a bit as you press back even deeper. And then slowly drop the left knee, drop the right knee, and you're going to take the left foot into the right arch. So you'll feel the bone at the big toe press into the fleshy part of the right arch. Then you're going to sit the weight of the body back. You may need to adjust the foot until you feel that little twinge of discomfort in the pressure point of the foot. Allow the hands to rest on your thighs, broaden your collarbones, and tuck your chin to your chest. Allowing the breath to remind you that this too shall pass, one breath at a time. Slowly rise, finding your way to tabletop pose once again. This time, left toe step back. Push through that heel, feeling your calf here. Keeping right toes tucked under, simply lift up off of that right knee as you take the stretch a bit deeper into the gastroc, which is the upper calf. And then drop back down, taking your knees down, right foot now into arch of left. And as you sit back, find the place, that pressure point, and this time let the hands come behind you. Knuckles drawing down and back, chest opening as we press back through the pinky side of the hand. And slowly release tabletop pose. Just tapping out the tops of the feet or the toes, kind of letting that circulation come back in. And you'll find one cat-cow here. Belly draws down, chest lengthens. Round that spine, stay rounded. Again, pushing hips back toward heels. Now, walk your hands back, standing on your knees. Hands will come to hips. Right foot forward, lunge series again. Dropping hips forward and down. Good. And you're going to reach the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers. Knuckles will draw down and back, chest will lift up. Body is a little bit warmer now, so it should feel nice over the front belly. And then slowly take the hands to your hips. Lift up and send the chest forward over long right leg. Again, you can always have blocks to your sides if balance is an issue. But we're going to work a little bit with the feet here. So I'm going to have you do what's called flointing, which is you're going to flex your toes back, but point through the ankle. Your calf will feel that a bit. Now draw back, flexing the entire foot toward the face. floint, so it's like a Barbie foot, Barbie shoes, and then flex back. One more time, you'll do this flointing, it's a flex and a point, and then draw back and see if maybe you can lengthen down a bit deeper. Imagining lowest rib reaching toward knee, and then right thumb is going to come and hook into your hip crease. Left hand is going to reach towards your outer shin. Lengthen your chest diagonally toward that pinky toe. And feel how that engages a little bit more of the outer fiber of the hamstring. Take both hands to the hips. You're going to send the chest diagonally to the left now. The hip wants to check to the right. Try and keep it square. And if you have blocks or something to lean on, feel free to do that. Now we're going to slowly come back through center. Drop the hands inside that right leg, bending right knee. Again, curl your left toes under, pressing through the heel, lifting up off of that knee. Rock forward to the tips of your toes and then press back through the heel. Forward and back. Last time, forward. Now as you drop back, drop the knee to the earth. Turn the toes cornerwise, open the knee. This time taking an open twist as you come to the right side with that left hand rooted to the earth. And draw those hands to the earth. Right knee under the hip, standing on both knees. Left foot will come forward, same series. Drop the hips to start. This time, let the arms rise up overhead, interlacing. Again, palms up, elbows can be bent or not, but open across the chest. And then allow the hands to come to the hips as you come into that half split, sending the hips back and the leg long. Once you arrive and find balance, you're going to find that floint, so you'll flex the toes, point through the ankle, and then flex the entire foot back. Find a floint, and then a full flex. Last time, flex the toes, point the ankle. Full flex, stay here. See if you can come a little bit deeper. Let your left thumb come into your hip crease. Imagine you're grabbing hold of the upper thigh bone, the femur, and kind of pulling it down and back. Right hand comes across the leg and you start to bring the energy of the chest toward the pinky toe. Coming back through center, you're going to send that chest now open to your right side without letting the hip draw out to the left. Certainly a challenge on balance without blocks. And you'll come right back through center, let the hands come down to the earth. Curl those right toes under, lifting up off of the knee. Rock forward and press back. Forward and press back. Last time, forward. Pressing back, you're going to drop down into the knee. Left toes cornerwise, left knee open. Left hand to the knee as you find that twist. And slowly back, hands to the floor, left knee back, and you're going to find tabletop pose. Belly draws down, chest lengthens forward as we breathe in. Go ahead and round that spine, breathe out. From here, right foot will step forward, left hand stays to the earth. Coming down into your lunge, you're going to take the right hand and try and reach back for that left foot. We've opened the hamstring enough that hopefully it won't cramp up. And if you can't make that grab, just stay here and find a twist. Same thing happening in upper body and hip flexor. The grab just allows us to get deeper into the quadricep. Ooh. that's a doozy. All right, you're gonna release that down. Walk your foot, so the right foot is gonna walk to the left as you come into pigeon pose. You'll start to draw the heel in just a bit and drop down. Good. Now from there, forearms can come to the floor or you can be on hands. And then you'll lengthen the chest over that right shin. Now, if you feel that the right hip might be up off the floor, so you can kind of put a sweatshirt under it or something so that you don't roll to the right side. Take a moment, curl the left toes under, push back through your heel. Feel that in the outer right hip and also the left hip flexor. And then relax that leg down and simply release into this pigeon pose. Begin to walk your hands over to the left corner of the room, feeling that stretch the low back a bit, as well as come deeper into the hip. And bring those hands right through center. Taking the right hand in front of that right shin, left hand this time will reach back for left foot. Again, only if you want that grab. If you don't, toes can curl under, same stretch. This is just a little bit deeper. Wherever you are though, we're gonna peel that chest open, kind of present that chest forward.
This side is much more flexible.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I could barely grab it on the side.
That's crazy. And then you're gonna release that down. Hand will come to the earth, curl the toes, and walk it back up, sending that right leg back, and you should feel a significant difference between the two sides. So let's let the belly draw down and the chest lengthen forward. Good, round that spine up. Push your hips back towards your heels just a bit. Just feel the low back release. And walk the hands back so you're standing on the knees, and let the left leg come forward. From here, hands are gonna drop down, right hand to the earth. Left hand can either come to the knee or can come to the right foot. Yeah, so it's up here, I'll come sideways.
Oh, okay.
So that you're kind of reaching back for that quad stretch. So left foot is forward.
Okay.
Nope, so take the right hand down to the earth. And then you're gonna reach back and around. So it's a twist and a quad stretch.
I love it.
There you go. Nice, you feel that?
Yeah, wait. Okay.
Good, let's release that down. You'll walk the left foot across now to the right and come into that pigeon pose. And if your knees are bothering you at all, you can take the heel in a bit closer to the right leg. But either hands or forearms to the earth and curl those right toes under as you press back a bit. So it's almost as if the left knee is working toward the left upper corner of the mat and the right heel is working to the back right corner. And then relax that right leg down. And just prop underneath the left hip if you need it. And begin to walk your hands over now to the upper right corner of the mat. Slowly coming back through center. Left hand will plant in front. You're going to take the right hand, reach back for the leg, only if that feels comfortable. And imagine, now what happens is the body kind of wants to open up. Try and square the right hip down toward the left heel. Yeah. And slowly release. curling those right toes under as you send the left knee back underneath the hip and finding a cat-cow from tabletop pose. Slowly, we're gonna walk the hands forward, finding ourselves in happy puppy pose. Hips high, chest low. If it's too much on the shoulders, the elbows bend out to the sides. And then slowly find your way down to the earth, belly down. And we're gonna start, again, we've got those quadriceps warm. So we're gonna start by leaning a bit to the left so that we can reach for the right foot. And you'll just pull that heel down towards your glute and press the front of your hip into the earth. Now you're going to turn the grip so that you turn your thumb to the big toe edge of the foot and then slightly kick into that hand. So stretching the front of the shoulder but also a little bit deeper into the hip flexor. Release that stretch. Take the forearms to stack. Make a little pillow. Rest your forehead, bend the knees, and windshield wiper the feet. And then release that down. You're going to take your right knee out into this little half frog leg. So there's this 90-degree bend at the hip, the knee, and the ankle. And prop up onto forearms, pressing the right hip down into the floor. Entire inner groin starting to stretch there. Let the right arm extend and thread your left arm under it. Going for the shoulder stretch to start. Chest is squared off. Feeling compression where the chest meets the shoulder on the inside and stretch on the outside of the deltoid. From there, right hand comes to your right hip and you're going to begin to twist the torso until maybe the torso faces the ceiling. Otherwise, you just stay where you're comfortable and feel that nice low back twist. It's so deep. And then the right hand, if you want to just, you can kind of tuck it under your waist so that the elbow will rest to the floor. Just tends to be a little bit more comfortable. And slowly you'll come right back to center, taking the right arm forward so you can unthread the left arm, and then forearms down, send that right leg back. Let's lean to the right so we can reach back for the left leg. Pulling the heel down, pressing the front of the hip into the earth. Switching the grip as you turn the thumb toward the big toe side of the foot and gently kicking into that hand. Releasing that stretch down, making that pillow with the forearms, bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet. Relaxing the legs long, take the left knee into half frog. You'll start with forearms down, pressing that left hip, inner thigh, into the floor. So you start to feel the inner thigh stretch. And then lengthen your left arm, thread your right. Begin with the shoulder stretch. You kind of send that left arm forward and right arm deeper. And then slowly left hand will come to your hip. You start to roll open, keeping the knee to the earth. And then maybe tucking that left hand underneath the waist, whatever feels right. And and release back through center. Sending the legs long, unthreading the arm. Coming right up onto forearms. You want your elbows just slightly forward of the head of the shoulder. And then the upper arm bones will come up toward the ears, and you're gonna let the head hang heavy. So just like when we put the top of the foot into the arch, you might need to play with this to get the right sensation. Elbows might need to walk in toward one another more, perhaps forward or back. But what you should be feeling is this little kind of a squeeze between the earlobes and the tips of the shoulders, those upper traps, and the back of the neck. Releasing that, hands will come beside your side ribs, and you'll come right up through your tabletop pose and walk the knees forward until we find a seat. So in our comfortable seat, we're going to start with the soles of the feet to touch. So we've kind of worked from the earlobes, the back of the neck, all the way down to the tips of the toes, and now we're just going to give it all one quick rinse. So let's lift up and circle out, so you should feel inner thighs and a little bit of low back here. And then take the circles in the other direction. 3 times left to right. Coming right back up, shoulders will come over those knees. Begin by lengthening forward, letting the elbows rest into the knees. But then allow the body to surrender. So perhaps the upper spine rounds, let the head hang heavy. Feeling the muscles of the upper back simply drape over the ribs and the shoulder blades. If it's more comfortable, forearms can come to the floor with hands wrapping around the feet. And reconnect to that long, full breath from base of spine to crown of head, just as we did when we started. Slowly rising back up, keeping the left leg where it is and sending the right leg out. You may even want to scooch that left leg in a bit. Left hand to the knee, right hand to the knee, lift the chest and just start to fold over that left ankle. Feeling inner thigh stretch right side, perhaps a little bit of the same on the left, but certainly deeper on the right. And back up through center. Right hand walks down your leg, left arm reaches up, coming back into that side waist. Peeling the chest open just a bit. And then open up. Same action as we did when we were in that little half plank. Tap to the inner foot. Open up. Tap to the inner foot. Now you'll open up, and as you close, you're going to reach the left hand to the right forearm and start to pull down a bit, feeling the entire low back from the top of your hip right up to the lowest rib. Rising through center, let the left hand come behind you and the right hand come across your knee. Opening the chest and wringing out. And back through center. We'll switch the legs. So bending the right knee, letting the left leg come out. Starting with hands to knees and the chest rising up. We'll fold forward over that right ankle. Rising through center, let the left hand come down the leg, right arm will reach up. Getting that side waist to open. And then as you inhale, peel open. And as you exhale, tap toward that inner leg. Inhale, peeling open. Exhale, tap to inner leg. Last time, rise. And as you close, take the hand to the forearm, right hand, left forearm, and pull down a bit, feeling right side of low waist. Slowly through center, you'll take your hand. When I do this, I have a student who she works with little ones. She calls this helicopter arms, because that's when they're at camp, that's what they have to do. So you're going to take right hand behind, left hand across. And slowly back through center, taking soles of feet to the earth. We're going to find seated cat-cows, lifting the chest and rounding the spine. Just as we did at the beginning, but the beginning we had our legs crossed. Same action though. And last time, rise. And as you roll back, send those knees into your chest. So you find yourself right on the earth in a reclined position, rocking from side to side, feeling the low back release. You'll extend down through your left leg, working the right thigh outside of the rib cage so that the knee can come down toward inner upper shoulder. So as you know, this is one of my favorite series to end with, especially when we've been working through the whole body here. And then you'll kick up through that right heel, either interlacing behind, or if you have your strap, you can reach it for the foot. But wherever you are, let the shoulder blades be on the floor, even if that means your hands slide down the leg or the strap. Press through your heel, flex the toes all the way back. Stretch should come from behind your glute all the way up to your ankle. Release your left hand out, keeping the right hand to strap or leg, and open out to the right side. If you find yourself rolling up off of that left hip, push out through your left heel. That's going to root you down a little bit more. Coming through center, left hand comes to the leg or the strap, right hand comes out to the side. Tiny movement to start. Hip stays to the floor. You're just getting that outer fiber of the hamstring and a little bit of IT band. If you work with the position of the foot, keep the foot flexed and think about the pinky toe peeling toward outer ankle. You'll actually feel a lot more if you do that. Now from there, we're going to cross over. So let that straight leg come all the way across to the left. And imagine your toes are reaching for your left shoulder. You will feel the IT band all the way across that outer right leg. As well as a twist, of course. Slowly we'll rise through center. Use your right hand to foot or strap to pull down into half happy baby, letting the knee come toward an imaginary dot on the floor next to your right ribs. Ankles stacking over knee. And slowly relax that, releasing the right leg all the way down next to the left. You'll notice probably that the right leg seems longer. So let's interlace the hands on the left shin as the knee draws in. Thigh outside of rib, knee down in toward inner upper shoulder. Feel that deep tourniquet effect in the hip. And slowly release that grip. Interlace either behind or grab that strap. And you'll press through the heel, flex the toes back. Again, relaxing the shoulders to the earth. Letting your right hand release, keeping the left hand on the leg or strap, and then pull outward to the left. slowly through center, right hand connects to that leg. Tiny movement to begin, keeping that foot really active. And I'm just here to tell you, this one never gets easier. I'm 22 years into practice. This one still, doesn't matter how many times you do it. You're gonna come all the way across the body now. So this is really similar to that one we took after half frog. It's just your leg is extended now.
The twist is so good.
Yeah, the twist is nice and deep. Press out through that left heel, pull the toes back toward the right shoulder. And then release through center and find yourself in half happy baby with the left knee pulling down. So it's almost pulling right down into the armpit. And slowly release. This time, let the soles of both feet come to the earth so the knees are bent. We're gonna cross the right ankle over the left knee and interlace behind that left leg. So you can lift the shoulders up if it's required and just start to pull down so those knees both come toward the chest. You might even be able to use your right elbow into the right inner knee to kind of press that knee open. Relax the hands, keep the leg crossed, but let the sole of the left foot touch the floor. Arms open wide, knees drop over to the right side. So you'll find yourself kind of falling to the big toe edge of the left foot. So these last twists really get into those spaces in the low back that don't often get woken up. Come right back through center. Again, keeping legs crossed, you're gonna heel toe the left foot to the right and let the right sole of the foot reach for the left side of the room in a twist. It's nowhere near as deep on the low back, but you might feel it through the inner thigh on the right leg, working that knee kind of toward the ceiling, right to 12 o'clock. Slowly coming through center, switching the way the legs are crossed. Left over right, reaching to interlace behind right and pulling those knees down in toward the chest as you relax the shoulders and head. Release the grip. Let the sole of the right foot drop down and let the knees fall to the left. Again, now leaning now on the big toe edge of your right foot. Coming through center, keeping that cross. Heel toe the right foot to the left as you drop the left sole to the right side of the mat. And keep that left knee working toward 12 o'clock. And slowly draw back through center. Both knees come into the chest, circling 3 times to your right side. And then 3 times to your left side. Relax your hands, let your feet rise toward the ceiling. Not a stretch, just a gentle release. So the knees can be soft, your feet are just kind of relaxed. Just feeling the weight of the legs release down into the hips. Feeling the blood flow reverse. Allow the eyes to close here. Beginning to feel that rooted settling through the entire back body. Back of head, back of shoulders, down the length of the arms and the spine, and deeply into the hips. And then very slowly bending the knees and sliding those legs long down your mat as you find your Shavasana. Anything you need to be comfortable in Shavasana here. And as you arrive, tap in for the final time to your physical body before you drift off. Tap in and find the shoulder blades supporting the back and allowing the chest to be open. Tap in and release any lines and creases in the face or any tension through the brow line or the jawline. Allow the hips to relax and the feet to splay open. And as you rest and surrender here, just as we did when seated at the beginning, feel the back body sink and become heavy. Imagine leaving an imprint in the floor below you. Feel the front body light and lifted. Imagining the center chest open like the petals of a rose. And let the body become still. If the mind wanders, imagine light at the center of your belly. With your inhale, you watch the light radiate from the center of the belly to the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes, and the crown of the head. And as you exhale, you imagine the center belly becoming a single point of light that roots you from the navel down through the spine to the earth. Inhale, front body feels light and radiant with white light. Exhale, white light rooting the body down through center belly. So that if your mind wanders, which is natural, you can simply guide it back to that radiating, rhythmic pulsing of white light, expanding and then bringing itself back into focus. Expanding and releasing to that single point, over and over, until the mind becomes still and everything simply softens. begin to guide your body back to awareness, watching that light once again rise with your inhale, and draw down through center belly with the exhale. Feel the fingers and the toes come back to awareness. Maybe the ankles and the wrists coming back. Finding any final stretches. And drawing your knees to your chest as you find your way up to a comfortable seat, allowing the eyes to close. And as you arrive, resting the backs of the hands on the knees with palms open to receive. As we find ourselves in mid-July, or close to mid-July, with not many answers as to what might happen in fall, I'm going to reflect on this beautiful reading from Journey to the Heart. It's called Cherish Hope. Hope is airy, almost intangible, yet if we don't have it, we know it. Hope is simple, clear, light. Our hearts and our souls need a good glimpse of it every so often just to keep us going. Even those times we can't have what we want, we can be open to seeing its light shining unexpectedly in other directions, so long as we have hope. Cherish hope. It adds buoyancy to the spirit and lightness to the day. And so my hope for all of us is that we can find hope in moments of our day. We can find hope for the future that will come from these times. And all I ask is that with each practice, you find yourself presence and peace. Let's inhale the arms up overhead, allowing the palms to touch and sliding the thumbs in front of heart center. I'll seal our time together with a single round of Om. Inhaling. Surrendering the head to the heart as you swallow in the back of your throat. Raising your thumb knuckles to third eye center forehead. All that is hopeful and light in me honors and shines to all that is hopeful and light in you. Namaste.